Good morning, my wonderful viewers. Rise and shine with Global Entertainment News Morning Boss. I'm your host, Steven, ready to kickstart your day with all the fresh news and story. And right here with me, bringing our own spark to the studio is.
Bella.
All right, let's dive into today's headline, fresh from Punch and Daily Trust. Today's top story from the Punch. Five arrested over 2-week-old baby sale. Operative of the State Criminal Investigation Department of Lagos State Police Command have arrested at least five suspects in connection with the adoption and sale of a 2-week-old baby boy. This was disclosed in a statement released on Thursday by the command spokesperson CSP Benjamin Odindere. According to the statement, the State Criminal Investigation Department of the Lagos State Police Command have arrested five suspects from adoption and child stealing. The case was initially reported at the Ajah Police Division on Monday, May 5, 2025, by a man who raised concern over the disappearance of his 16-year-old cousin, identified as Miss Happiness.
I think that this crime of a thing has become a common norm thing that everything has to do with whatever you can lace your hands with as far as it's going to bring in money to you. A 2 weeks old baby being put on sale is really, really tragic. And I don't even know how to go about it. How would the mother feel and uh, how was that even possible?
The rate at which people are very very desperate in doing things now has really awakened so many people's mentality on how to protect their children now. I tell you, because this case of the baby is not even actually up to a year, and this kind of thing is happening to the child. Just imagine the child growing up to a situation where um, eh, eh, probably at his early 18s or early 15, the child was now told that this person you have been living with for over 15 years, it's not your mother or your father. After going for a DNA test, we now find out that this is a particular parent, and the kind of trauma that child is going to actually face during that stage. It's going to be very very severe, and we do have cases of so many families living with forced children that they don't even know about, and it's really really alarming. I think the department in charge of children trafficking and stealing of babies like this should really work diligently to be able to cover out situations like this from happening.
Exactly, because a whole lot of crime scene is happening now in Nigeria, and everyone is trying to actually sustain a living from themselves. But I'm still going to say that illegal things to do in Nigeria to earn a living for yourself is not a good thing.
We are moving up to our next story from the Punch. Midday fire disrupts services at Lagos Hospital. A fire incident on Thursday afternoon triggered panic among staff members and patients at the Ifako Ijaye General Hospital in Lagos after flames erupted in a section of the medical facilities. Punch Metro gathered that the fire began around midday and prompted swift emergency response efforts in a viral video seen by our correspondent. Firefighters were seen arriving at the scene as thick smoke billowed from the hospital's main building. By 6 p.m., the exact cause of the blaze had yet to be determined. In a statement issued on Thursday evening, the director of the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Margaret Adeseyi, confirmed that no life was lost in the incident.
That was a good one. For there is no life that is being lost in the incident, and at the same time, a fire this breaking out in a hospital, in medical facility, is something that needed to be looked out, and then a well investigation needed to be uh, come out of that because that is not supposed to be a normal scenario that has to happen.
It's actually very well for us to be having cases of fire outbreak in an hospital. But it's been a while when I heard about something like that happening in a hospital. But I think it serves as an example to other hospitals
Yeah, I
also to be
feels
able
like
to.
some of those things can is either it's going to be related on the gas cylinders that have been there, or in the hospital they don't actually allow because of the oxygen that they are using on patients and all that. They don't need to be kept close to a gas cylinder. They don't even whatever they are going to be doing, the kitchen needs to be far away from there, and nothing but whatever that is, this investigation needed to be taken out and then find out what is the cause.
All right, it's actually a good one for the fire service to get there swiftly to be able to contain that fire. All right, moving up to our next story from the Punch. Influencer VDM arraigned for allegedly cyberbullying Nollywood actress. Controversial social media influencer Martins Otse, popularly known as Very Dark Man, was on Thursday rearraigned by the Nigerian police before a high court in Abuja for allegedly cyberbullying Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo and Tonto Dike. The social activist is also accused of cyberbullying Nigerian producer and singer Samuel Ugbachuba, popularly known as Sam Clef, among others. PDM was rearraigned before Justice Musa Liman on 5 counts, to which he pleaded not guilty. Punch Metro recorded that VDM was first arraigned on May 2024, May 22, 2024, before Justice Mobolaji Olajuwon for the same offence, which are contrary to the punishable under Section 24 of the Cybercrime Prohibition Prevention Act 2015.
Well, I feels like how am I going to say, BDM has become a very let me say, becoming a very good friends with when it comes to security personnel. Is either it's going to be the EFCC or the police or everything. Well, he's an activist, and then I think that a whole lot of people will go to him for one reason or the other, that they know that through him an action is going to be taken. But him being arrested over and over again is either he's been accused of some certain things or the other. I don't really wanted to say that there is a whole lot of a whole lot of conspiracy that is going on when it comes to whoever that needed to stood up and then try to defend Nigeria in Nigeria, because we feels like our security personnel don't wanted to receive that bluntness from people that is trying to call them out of their wrongdoing, or call people out of their wrongdoing or oppressing someone else, and then they tend to come out with different type of thing. Talking about the cyberbullying and all that, this is something of a social media of a thing that can happen to anybody. That anybody can call anyone out for being whatever it is. It's a social media, but I don't really know how to go about. But I feels like our security personnel, with whatever situation they are having with BDM, should be at least settled once and for all.
Moving away from social activists, no more deaths from electrocution. Electricity-related deaths continue to claim life across Nigeria, yet many of these tragedies are entirely preventable. The threats the threats are widespread and often ignored, from high-tension power lines passing over residential buildings to substandard electrical materials sold freely in markets. In March 2025, an Eco Electricity Distribution Company technician was electrocuted in Lagos while fixing wire faults. In another incident in Abuja, a staff member of the Abuja Disco was fatally electrocuted while working on the faculty transformer. He did not have access to personal protection equipment at the time. This is not isolated case according to the Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission.
Well, I would say that this electrification of the thing about deaths related to electricity and all that, yes, it can actually be preventable when you know that you are a professional electrician and then you needed to work on a high tension. The first thing that you needed to do is to make sure that all power is being shut down before you continue a work. But some of these things are part of ignorance that we Nigeria we wanted to impose on some certain things, and then we just wanted to go into it without trying to make sure that we find out whatever that is going on. It's simple as trying to avoid some certain tragic not to happen instead of you trying to dim into it and then trying to ignore the rules and regulation. Even if it is still going to be a diving that you have the rules and regulation that needed to guide you in whatever you are doing. So let's look at it. If we Nigerian needed to follow the rules, and we are good at not following the rules and regulation when it comes to some certain things. Even just a minor work, we tend to do it. Feels like nobody is going to or whatever that is going to happen. So even if it is we have we have a reason to actually follow every rules and regulation. You don't just feels like I've been working in this thing, so it's my work. You don't no.
So I think the more encrypted these technicians are well, if they are well equipped rather, I believe there will be reduction in all these cases of a technician being recruited in this in particular stages, and this. We also find cases where those that are not even qualified to be a technicians will want to climb pool to actually help well, probably collect a little token of money to actually help someone fix light. I think if all these things are really prevented, we'll stop having cases of electrocutions everywhere and there.
Well, I'm still going to be on that we don't actually want to follow every rules that have to do with. Imagine 112 electrical deaths. It's not just a small number. That is a lot of being in just how many months. It's really saddening.
All right, moving away from the punch today, our top story from Daily Trust. Electoral Act Amendment. Nigeria rejects Web's proposal for compulsory voting. Countries like Australia, Belgium, and Brazil have adopted compulsory voting with positive outcomes in political participation and public accountability. When more people vote, election results are more likely to reflect the truth while the people will of the people. No country, no country, not even the most totalitarian country, compelled its citizens to vote. Voting is a civic responsibility. If you want, you can vote. If you don't want, you can stay in your house. Compelling people to vote is violation of their rights.
Well, I would say that that is actually because many of people in Nigeria, some is let me just say that out of the 200 million of the Nigerian citizens, few let me just say that many don't still go out to vote.
Well, in a country whereby freedom of voting is not actually it's not actually a thing in our country, where we know that if you go out to vote, either you vote or you don't vote, your vote don't really count because the kind of electoral malpractice that we have in this country has showed more people more reasons why they don't need to vote. I tell you, even this coming election, we will have fewer people voting than
Yeah,
last election
and you're
because
still going to be accounting for like 2 million people, 10 million people voting in one region and all that, and then we feels like we are being cheated of our votes. We don't have the right to actually pick our own our candidates, and when it comes to that, well, talking about this voting is that when there's a glitch of exam that comes out, people are feeling like, okay, there is a glitch as well in the past election. Why in the past election that passed the voting and all that? Why is the INEC still trying to say that there was not a glitch in it? And then that is the pain that people are actually facing right now. That when you ask them to vote, they feel like before you leave your polling unit, they have already announced the winner. So Nigeria is still far back when it comes to this voting of a thing. We are still scamming ourselves and then practicing what is not even supposed to.
all right, moving away from our electoral act, government invades palace, adopts traditional ruler in Kogi. Armed men suspected to be kidnappers reportedly invaded the palace of His Royal Highness Ogun Yadala Feli Oye, the traditional ruler of Ofeloke community of Yagba West local government area of Kogi State, and abducted him. It was gathered that the incident happened in the early hours of Thursday when the gunman stormed the palace. They were said to be shooting periodically to scare people away before they kidnapped the monarch after overpowering the palace guard. Reports from the community said the subject has been trooping to the palace to offer prayers and appeal to security operatives at both state and federal level, as well as individuals to intervene and bring back the royal father of the community alive.
Oh, this is actually a sad one because I've been saying it that right now Nigeria has been in this situation that everyone actually think that whichever way they can actually go to make sure that they get their hands on something doing, and it's always been on the illegal side. Adopting a traditional ruler is really is another next level of boldness and all.
And this is not actually the even first time we're hearing something like this. It's either there are two ways to judge this. It's either the traditional ruler have as probably placed his hand on something very wrong, or it's actually a purpose kidnap, or probably there is something the traditional ruler has done to the people that they felt okay, well, let's go for him and do this. But it's actually very wrong for government to actually invade. If a traditional law cannot be protected with security and everything, I tell you, there are more to things that are going to still happen in this country that we've not seen yet. I tell you.
Definitely a lot that is still going to be happening.
All right, moving up to the military. Military overruns terrorists. Enclave in Borno kills scores. Troop of the Nigerian military attached with North-East Operation Idinkai have avenged the killings of their colleagues by overrunning notorious hideouts of the criminals in the Sambisa forest. It was learned that the troops who were mandated to reinforce more aggressive officers in response to colleague killing targeted by stronghold of the terrorists in Garin Malam Ali, Garin Glucose and Ukoba. Daily sources have reported on Wednesday that no fewer than 5 soldiers were killed by the suspected Boko Haram terrorists who launched coordinated attack on 3 military bases in Rain, Gagiram, and Kikwa in Borno State. Security and local sources confirmed that all the attacks happened in the early hours of Tuesday, stating that the insurgents lost many fighters in Kigwa and Kigarin, where the military repelled the attack.
Well, that is a good one. Kudos to them. If this is going to be continue happening every day that we are hearing the stories of the terrorists have been killed and then because I'm telling you that we are going to feel safe in our own state and all. Because if after this one and then our military men went to and relaxed again, that they have actually those men is still going to come after them and then take their own revenge as well. But if this keep on going on for every day, like not giving them a breathing space for once, I tell you that you're going to have lesser terrorists.
Yeah, it's in a country whereby there are so many people funding terrorists. I tell you, things like this will not go sporadically because we have people trying to move to pull things back. I think this operation to me, I see it as a way to make Nigerians feel that something is really happening. But kudos to the military for pushing out very hard on these terrorists to be able to find out their hideout and destroy. I think more of the hideouts really be reinforced. We should reinforce the military to be able to take attacks like this and do more to the society and help us from insurgencies like happening in society already. All right, moving up to our next story. Inflation rate drops to 23.71%. Nigeria's headline inflation dropped to 23.71% in April relative to the March 2025 headline inflation rate of 24.23%. According to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics (NBS), the April 2025 headline inflation rate showed a decrease of 0.52% compared to that of the March 2025. It stated that on a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 9.99%, lower than the rate recorded in April 2025, 33.69%. This shows that the headline inflation rate year-on-year basis decreased in April 2025 compared to the same month in the preceding year, April 2025, though reached a different base year, November 2029, equal 100.
Well, I really feel wanted to say something about this inflation of the Nigerian that is getting the drop is feels like it's not even it's just as if there is just 1% of it, and then it's not even making any improvement right now. And then I fear for what it might comes up with, if it's going to get more higher or it's going to get more lower, because this one is not even explaining a basic fact of how we are going to curb this inflation that keep on rising to the top, that is not making any improvement in Nigeria. If this thing continue, I don't know how long it will, but I feel like our government really needs to step in into this thing right now and then try to provide some basic things that is needed in the country: the food, the transportation, the fuel, and all that. And then as well, there is a whole lot of things that is needed to be done right now. I say that the farmers as well are not even as scared of going to the farm. And then yesterday we are talking about the rice farmers that are already dropping their tools because there is not enough fertilizer for them. So how are we going to sort all these things down?
Alright, it's actually to me I see it as a very good way for us to move on. It's actually a very nice step, seeing our inflation actually coming down a little bit. We need more. We need more effect in the society. People are really complaining. The mass are really complaining about the income rates in the country and how things are actually going high. All right, we have come to the end of today's program. Thank you for joining us on the breakfast show today. I've been your host, Steven. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all social media platforms for more news and updates. I've been Have a blessed day. God bless.